Severe avoidants are often addicted to infatuation, addicted to the honeymoon phase of a relationship. These avoidants will often have a lot of short-term relationships, leaving and discarding partners as soon as the relationship grows real. Early on in the relationship, there's no pressure. It's easy. They just get to show up to the date, have some dinner, enjoy some laughs, and maybe even some sexual intimacy. They get all the perks, they get all the validation, they get all the attention, the butterflies, feeling wanted, without commitment, without having to be vulnerable, without the relationship being truly real, without emotional intimacy. They keep it light, they keep it easy, they get to see this person a couple times a week, but once the relationship starts to progress and the other partner starts to push for real commitment, that can be when these avoidants will shut down, deactivate, flip the switch, and discard a partner. That's because they fear emotional intimacy. They fear intimacy because they fear it leads to abandonment. This is the result of childhood emotional neglect. They learn that the people that you rely on for your emotional needs are ultimately going to disappoint you, reject you, and abandon you. Avoidants, well, they have a low self-esteem, so they need that external validation to feel better about themselves. So they will jump into these short-term relationships. They'll soak up all that validation, get all that attention, but then when it gets real, it gets scary, and that's when they get running. Now, these can be a few months, it can be relationships that last 6 months, a year, followed by another one that's 6 months or a year, even a couple years. But when the relationship really sinks into the avoidant, that it is a real relationship, that's when the walls come up. They take their feelings for their partner, they bury them, they suppress them, they don't allow themselves to access their feelings. They completely detach, but that's because they kept the relationship surface level. While the partner was developing a deep bond, an affection, a love for the avoidant was keeping the feelings surface level. And when they started to get deeper feelings, that's when they shut down to protect themselves. They don't allow those deeper feelings to grow because they've learned that leads to abandonment. So they continue to chase that dopamine, chase that oxytocin from early in the relationship, always jumping into the honeymoon phase. But because they avoid self-reflection, they don't really understand why they shut down and run. They'll actually tell themselves that they must feel this way because it's the wrong person. But then when the right person comes along, they're not going to feel the need to run. So they'll jump from relationship to relationship to relationship. And they'll say to themselves, why can't I seem to find the right person? And not understanding that they've pushed loving partner after loving partner away because of their own emotional unavailability. But since they don't self-reflect, they don't understand why they do this, and they assign very surface level explanations so they can justify what they're doing. So if you see somebody that has a long history of a lot of short relationships, that is a warning sign that this person could potentially be a severe avoidant that is emotionally unavailable.